A woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. You lost your edge, she lost attraction for you. That's how it works. What'd you think she was gonna do? Tell you she cheated? Men cannot afford to get complacent in relationships. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
And now your man, Donovan Sharpe.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 936th edition of TSR Live, your daily dose of toxic masculinity, misogyny, and small dick energy. It is Thursday, February 16th of 2023. It is good to have you guys in today. As always, we are multi-streaming live simultaneously to YouTube, Rumble, and Sharpe Stream. So however you're watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe Reality Live a part of your daily routine. Quick announcements before we get started here. Make sure you follow me on Twitter at Donovan's Den and on Instagram at Donovan Sharpe TSR. Gentlemen, I have over 35,000 hours of exclusive content you cannot find anywhere. Included in this massive archive is more than 20 seasons of dating show breakdowns, including 3 seasons of Love is Blind, 3 seasons of Temptation Island, 2 seasons of Married at First Sight, 2 seasons of F-Boy Island, and so many more. You will also get access to my Red Pill Theater movie breakdowns. I've broken down movies like Hitch, Think Like a Man, How to Be a Player 40-Year-Old Virgin, and more. Also are included my collaboration podcast, like The Sixth, with panelists such as Myron Gaines and Kevin Samuels, Elite Level Game with Coach EO, Weights and Dates, of course, with Myron Gaines, One-on-One with Donovan Sharpe, and more. In addition to all of that exclusive content, you also get chat privileges, access to members-only events like the Dr. Phil reaction with Rolo, the Pamela Anderson breakdown that I'm doing directly after the show, and ad-free on-demand video, which includes all of the podcast versions of all of my live streams, which are all free, of the small talk, shilling, and things talking about things you care nothing about, like my bowling scores or my girlfriend's awesome boob job. And like I said before, I shot a 205 the other night. For a limited time, I'm giving you a 3-day trial to explore and decide if a membership is beneficial to your life. To get started, go to sharpestream.com to check it out. Also, make sure you download the free Sharpe Stream app. It is available for iOS and Android. Make sure you enable push notifications so you never miss another live stream again. Guys, make sure you subscribe to Donovan Sharpe, etc. to watch my physical transformation from fat to fit. I'm live streaming all of my workouts over the next 4 months. I also do things like facial grooming tutorials and other fun stuff like that. So be sure to give me a sub over there so I can get to 10K subs. Guys, be sure to pick up my new ebook, Dead Bedroom, The Cure for a Sexless Relationship. There are a lot of guys out here in sexless relationship, and I am 167% certain that some of you guys watching now suffer from the condition known as desertius phallus, which is a fancy way of saying desert dick. If you suffer from this condition, go to tsracademy.com/free/ plug in your very best email to see if this ebook is right for you. Possible side effects include increased confidence, decreased tolerance for bullshit, a better sense of well-being, and a woman who wants to have more sex than you do. If you can't afford this book, don't sweat it. It's free. And finally, if you are a patron, a Sharpe Stream member, or a YouTube member, make sure to join us over on our Discord. We have a lot of fun over there. We exchange stories, links, and videos, and get up to all kinds of shenanigans that men like to get up to. Link is in the description. And at long last, the date for my debate, that rhymes, the date for my debate with Destiny has been set. The date, March 10th. The location, Miami, Florida, at the Panorama Tower, where the Fresh and Fit studios are. You guys have been waiting for this, and so have Destiny's loser fans. Not exactly sure what we're going to debate now that we have what appears to be a smoking gun that all but exonerates Andrew and Tristan Tate, #FreeTopG, or that there are countless articles that completely disprove Destiny's assertion that transgender bathrooms pose no danger to women who aren't in that community, but I'm sure we can think of something. So set your reminders for March the 10th at 7 p.m. live from Miami, Florida, Donovan versus Destiny. Later on, I'm going to be doing a live breakdown on the new Pamela Anderson documentary, but because of YouTube's copyright policy, I'm not doing it here. I'm doing it on Sharpe Stream. Sharpe Stream, as I said before, is members only, but like I said earlier, you can take advantage of our 3-day trial period to see if you want to check it out. Guys, make sure you get your hands on the highest quality and purest kratom on the planet. What brand is it? Well, it's Happy Hippo Kratom. Guys, I've used this stuff since 2014, and I haven't looked back since. It gives me energy when I need it. and there is positively zero crash. Happy Hippocratum can replace a lot of unhealthy stimulants we put into our bodies every day. It can replace your energy drink habit, your coffee habit, and many, many more. Go to my affiliate link and get 15% off when you use promo code HTR. That is in promo code HTR, link in description. I've got a hell of a show. I've got a hell of a show for you guys today. Obviously, should have thought of something better to put up here. Actually, let me just do this here quickly. Got a hell of a show for you guys today. As most of you are already aware, the wiretaps have been made public of the WhatsApp conversations between a couple of Andrew Tate's accusers. And look, I'm going to try to be as fair and as open-minded and as objective as possible. Now, this isn't to say that you guys know where I stand on this. You guys know where I stand on this. You guys know where my loyalties lie. You guys know what my opinion is on this. But the way I'm going to do this today, I'm not going to make any assertions, or at least I'm going to try not to. I'm going to try to make this opinion free. I'm simply going to ask common sense questions that any fair-minded individual, Andrew Tate fan or not, will come to the obvious conclusion that you are supposed to come to. Before we get started, welcome Virtuous S to chat privileges. Virtuous. At Virtuous to welcome him or her to the TSR family. Virtuous, if you would, put your age and location in the chat, as is customary. When we get the very first member, we do a chat-wide age and location chat. So if you would, chat, put your age and location in the chat. Shout out to all of my members who are in the house. Dre Raven, J Blaze 11, the lovely and talented Devin Sharpe is in the house. The Level Up Man is in the house. Ice Dragon Kid, Kyle 2020. What, huh? Appreciate that very, very much. I'm a little late today, guys. I'm a little late today because there was a random power outage in this area. This is the third straight day that the power just shut off. I get very frustrated and all that, but I mean, I can't destroy my studio. I've spent a lot of money on it, so I kept my cool, and here we are. King Life is in the house. Good to see you in here as well. The Bronx King with the $2 super chat says, I don't take any man seriously. Wait, I don't take any man serious that has blue hair. I mean, listen, man, if you want to take him seriously, that's your prerogative. If not, that is what it is. Bronx King with another $2 super chat says, type O, who has blue hair? Females too? I don't know. Like I said, guys, I don't know. I have no idea. I have no idea what we're going to debate. I really don't. Clearly, I thought we were going to debate Andrew Tate a little bit, and I'm no legal expert, but I think it's fairly. I think the conclusion now is fairly clear. The Tates actually have a hearing on February 27th, and at this point, I really can't see a scenario that isn't obvious. I'm going to try, like I said, I'm going to try to keep my opinion and loyalties out of this. I'm just going to ask common sense questions. The way I'm going to do this, guys, my anger management counselor, when I moved to Reno, his name was Dr. Derflinger, and he never told me, Alex, stop beating the crap out of people. He didn't tell me that. He asked me, okay, why do you lose your temper so much? What happened as a child? Blah, 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 blah. And so what Dr. Derflinger did, which was absolutely brilliant, is he never told me anything. He simply asked me questions that would lead me to the obvious conclusions, that I shouldn't be, beating the crap out of people, And listen, I say this all the time, guys. I'm very fortunate to be alive and not in prison right now. Some of that has to do with luck. A lot of it has to do with the fact that I had the resources to fight these particular accusations, as does Andrew Tate. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it like Dr. Derflinger does, and I'm just going to ask common sense questions just to make sure this gets out there. Super Raw with the $10 super chat says, A&P talk like men who have no real experience with modern women. Yes, it is very, very obvious that Apple and Peach have no experience with modern women, and we will definitely deal with them later on in this broadcast. And so to business. And so to business. As we all know, the wiretaps, I'm just going to read it from here. Wiretaps, the story says, wiretap leaks reveal how Andrew Tate was allegedly framed by his victims. Twitterati trend, #FreeTopG. So the story goes, let me blow this up. Andrew Tate is currently still housed in jail amid allegations of human trafficking and connections to organized crime. However, according to spynews.ro, alleged footage of wiretapes between victims of Tate indicates that the two women allegedly plan to frame Cobra. The article was published by spynews.ro yesterday and has been translated from Romanian to English. According to the alleged wiretaps, the pair of, quote, victims planned on setting up the Tate brothers by pretending that they were in love with the brothers. They had then planned to feign ignorance if they were caught in a police raid on Tate's property and discussed using disguises so that they were not recognized following the raids. Images of the alleged wiretaps were uploaded to Twitter, and British MMA fighter, actor Tim Khan has called for the release of Andrew Tate and his brother. Khan said this, "Wow, exposed. Free the Tates now. Wiretaps showed the, quote, victims plotted to frame the brothers." That, of course, is Tim Khan's tweet. So, obviously, this is going to get massive, massive coverage. I do know that Fresh and Fit covered a little bit of this, covered a lot of this, actually. Yesterday, there, of course, is another one. This is actually Suleiman Ahmed, the guy who debated Destiny, on the merits of the Andrew Tate Romania situation. I think it was fairly certain that one person was grasping for straws. And, listen, when you're making straw man arguments, you tend to grasp for straws, which, physiologically makes sense. But as you guys can see, and listen, shout out to this guy. Hold on, let me give him a Don DeMarco. Shout out to Suleiman. I think I'm going to call him Solomon. Solomon Ahmed. He has been among many people, among the few people leading the charge to really get the truth about what's really going on out there. Here's another thing. Andrew Tate has revealed that the Romanian government has seized, I think, $500,000 in Bitcoin. So it appears that the hit job is in. He, I guess, recently tweeted, says, "Being broke, unconnected, and weak should bother you deep inside. And only once it deeply bothers you, you will truly attempt to fix it." So you guys can tell that Andrew Tate, Andrew is probably, he's got to be one of the most mentally strong individuals there is, of course, and all of that good stuff. So what we are going to do is we are going to go through and look at the wiretaps. We are going to go through them. We're not going to go through them quite yet. What I'm going to do is I am going to sort of give you guys a timeline of events. I'm going to give you guys a simple timeline of events, of things that have happened. And again, I'm not an expert in any of this stuff. I'm just going by what I've seen and heard. But I think, presenting this timeline, I think will definitely help to paint a broader picture. So what you guys are seeing on your screen right now, and again, this is all public information. This is all open source. What you are seeing are the two accusers. One is from Miami. One is Moldovan, who is from London. That's where Andrew met her. This is them in an Uber in Romania. So now the first question becomes, if they are, and this is all verified. So if these two women are in an Uber in Romania, that would appear to indicate that they were indeed free to leave the Tate compound at any time. If they were not allowed to leave, if they were truly being trafficked, and again, one of the main elements of trafficking is sexual slavery. Sexual, we know what that means. Slavery, that's involuntary servitude. Involuntary servitude was abolished, obviously, by Abraham Lincoln way back in the day, effectively ending the Civil War. But slavery is abolished everywhere, gentlemen. It is against the law to own people. You cannot own people. You cannot kidnap them. You cannot hold them captive. These women claimed that they were held captive and that they were never allowed to leave. Yet here they are in an Uber in Romania. So if they are in an Uber in Romania, would any fair-minded individual come to the conclusion that they maybe were allowed to leave? Again, guys, I'm going to say this a million times. I wasn't there, so I don't know. It could be a situation where, listen, who knows? Listen, maybe Andrew Tate brainwashed the girls. Maybe, who knows? Maybe Andrew Tate is the Uber driver. Maybe Andrew Tate is the Uber driver. Maybe he said, all right, girls, I'm going to drive you around. I'm going to let you out of your cage. I'm going to put you in a car. I'm going to make you guys all up. I'm going to be your Uber driver, and you guys are going to shoot a video of you driving around in an Uber in Romania. This will effectively exonerate me when no, right? So unless that's the case, and I think it's pretty obvious that it probably wasn't, one can only reasonably conclude that the women were probably allowed to come and go as they please. Here's another thing. The Moldovan girl from England, she had been at the Tate family compound for quite a while. Between 1 and 2 months, nobody knows, but she was there for a while. She's there for a few weeks. She was there before the Miami girl was there. And again, she was allowed, dude, she went jogging with the dogs every day. She did grocery shopping for the Tates every day. They said that they were not allowed to leave. They said that they were being held captive. Again, if one of the elements of trafficking means slavery, which means you are not allowed to leave, well, then how are they in an Uber in Romania? How was she able to run with the dogs, jog every morning, and go grocery shopping every day? Now, I mean, is it possible that Andrew said, hey, you know what? Go grocery shopping. I'm going to send one of my guards with you. Yeah, I suppose that's possible. Right? Is it possible that he said, hey, listen, you can jog with my dogs every day, but I'm going to have a couple of guards on you to make sure you don't run anywhere? Is it possible? Yeah, absolutely. But you have to really ask yourself, is something that outlandish, is it likely? I'm not going to answer that question. I'm going to allow you guys to answer that question. I'm going to allow you guys to answer that question in your minds. Because listen, man, I'm not here to sway anybody's opinion. I am here to present the facts. You guys can come to your own conclusions. So here they are in an Uber in Romania. This is a TikTok video shot allegedly on the night in question. They're dancing, they're twerking, and this is, like, guys, this is really, 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 really bad twerking. Like, dude, like, look, man, I'm not trying to make light of this situation, but the girl in the middle, absolutely, this is a pathetic, oh my God. Wow. She doesn't have enough backside to twerk, number one. But absent all that, this is the night in question. This is the night that Andrew and Tristan Tate were accused of e-parring one of these women. Do these women look like the victims of e-par? Do these women look like they are being trafficked? Do these women look like they are being sold into sexual slavery? I will allow you to answer that. Do these women look like they're under duress? Do they look like they are in distress? I will let you come to that conclusion. Same night on the night in question, and here is another fact. Oh, by the way, the Tate brothers weren't home this night. This party happened without the Tate brothers in the house. The Tate brothers were out, well, running game on chicks, doing guy shit, right? So again, this is the night in question. Do these people appear to be under duress? Do they appear to be stressed out? Do they look like they're being held against their will? Do they look like they're being trafficked? Do they look like they're being forced to do things they don't want to do? I will let you answer that question for yourself. Again, let's just rewind a little bit. The Tate brothers are being accused of human trafficking, sex trafficking, kidnapping, basically enslaving, etc., etc. This is in the Tate family compound. Does this look like a home? Does this look like a location in which sex trafficking is occurring? Do these women look like they're doing things under duress? Do these women look like they're being made to do what they're doing? Do they look like they're not enjoying themselves? I will allow you to answer that question for yourself. Same night. Same night. Again, we're shooting TikTok videos. This appears to be, looks like coordinated. This looks coordinated, albeit very poorly coordinated nonetheless, but let's ask the questions again. Do these women appear to be being forced to do something they don't want to do? Do they appear to being trafficked? Do they appear to be exploited sexually by the Tate brothers? Looks like they're kind of, no, wait, you know what? Hold on. You know what? See, there we go. There we go. There we go. See, now there I go, putting my opinion in. My bad, guys. My bad. I will take the L on that. I'll take the L on that. Human trafficking, sex trafficking, held against our will, held in captivity. Do these women look like they're being held in captivity? Do they look like they're not having fun? I will let you decide for yourself. Same night, same party. Same night, same party. Do these women look like they're being trafficked? Do they look like they're being held against their will? Do they look like they're being captured? Do they look like they're being brainwashed? Do they look like they're having a bad time? Do they look like they're being sexually exploited? I will let you decide on that as well. So, now I'm going to show you guys a few pictures. I'm going to show you guys a few pictures that have surfaced after, and again, this is after the raid of the Tate compound. This is after the raid of the Tate compound. Oops. No, that's not it. Oh, this is it right here. Had it right. Oh. Okay. This is after the raid. This is after the raid of the Tate compound. This is one of the victims. This is one of the victims of the trafficking. So after the raid, it looks like they are in France. Not only are they in France, gentlemen, they're in the French Riviera, one of the most expensive places in the world to live and vacation. We're talking $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 a day to have a good time there. Now, let me ask you a question. And again, I'm going to leave this to you. Does this woman look like someone who just got out of a trafficking situation? Does this woman look like she is traumatized about being trafficked? Does this look like a woman who was just held in captivity at the French Riviera, the Morataglu Country Club? I'll let you decide. Oh, look at this. We're on the beach and being served food. They're on the beach being served food. And look, again, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But again, do these look like the activities of women who are traumatized? Do these look like the activities of women who were trafficked? Do these look like the activities of a woman who have just fled from being in captivity? I will let you decide. I will let you decide. Oh, look at this. Here's one of the victims now. Here's one of the victims now. Is it possible that she fled to the French Riviera after being trafficked? Of course it's possible. Is it likely? You be the judge. So let's ask the battery of questions again. Does this look like a woman? Does this look like a woman who has been recently trafficked? Does this look like a woman who has been recently EPAR? Does this look like a woman who is being sexually exploited? Does this look like a woman? Does this look like a woman who's been ripped off? Because remember, Andrew Tate allegedly stole from these women. Apparently, these women are broke because Andrew Tate stole 50% of their money in some sort of tax fraud accusations. Does this appear to be a woman who is short of cash? I'll let you make the decision. Ah, yes, and now we're on a boat. Does this look like a woman who just was EPAR'd a few days ago? Does this look like a woman? Does this look like a woman who was recently trafficked? Does this look like a woman who fled to the French Riviera to get out of that circumstance she was in? I'll let you decide. Oh, More pictures on the French Riviera. I don't even know how, I can't even pronounce this. Here we are. Here's another one. This is our girl from Miami. This is the American girl from Miami who has accused Andrew Tate of EPAR. Looks like she's in quite a nice Porsche here. And again, this is in the weeks after the raid. Does this look like a woman who was trafficked? Does this look like a woman who just experienced EPAR? I don't know. Listen, it looks like a really, really nice car. Now, look. Is it possible? Is it possible that she is just trying to blow off some steam because, she was trafficked and held in captivity? Of course it's possible. Of course it's possible. Is it possible that she said, hey, look, man, look. I've just been held against my will. I was EPAR'd. I was trafficked. Let me go to the French Riviera. Let me rent a Porsche or whoever's Porsche. Look, all of that is possible. But is it likely? I'll let you decide. Oh, here's a really good picture. This woman, again, one of the victims in Paris, driving a Bentley, wearing what looks like a diamond-encrusted AP watch. A diamond-encrusted AP watch. Doesn't look like she's hurting for money too much, just given the fact that Andrew Tate stole all her money, right? But let's go back to the battery of questions. Does this appear to be a woman who is traumatized by having been trafficked? Are these the actions of a woman who was recently EPAR'd? Are these the actions of a woman who was recently held against her will? Are these the actions of a woman who recently fled and escaped captivity? I will let you decide. These kinds of questions, gentlemen, are the ones that we need to ask and answer. And again, going back to the picture, it looks like the watch is a little too big. That's not a woman's watch, gentlemen. That is a man's watch. That's a man's watch. You can tell her wrist clearly isn't large enough for this watch. Listen, is it possible that it's her watch? Absolutely. Is it likely? I'll let you decide. These are the questions, gentlemen, that we have to both ask and answer for ourselves. Again, guys, look, anything is possible. Anything is possible. It is absolutely possible that these women were victims of human trafficking. It is absolutely possible that the Tate brothers did EPAR these women. Absolutely possible. But based on what you've seen so far, is it likely? I'll let you decide. And now we come to essentially, I'm not going to call it a smoking gun, right? But this looks bad for the prosecution. Listen, I don't think it's subjective to say that this doesn't look good for the prosecution, right? This doesn't look good for the prosecution. So these are the WhatsApp messages between Aliona and Bear. I don't know who. I'm assuming Aliona is the Moldovan chick, and Bear maybe the chick from Miami. So let's go through this. Let's go through these piece by piece. So, Aliona says, you are a good actress? I don't know if that was a question. She then says, true. Then Bear says, I practiced. Aliona replies, perfecto. Then there's double question marks. Then Aliona says, just play it cool. Bear responds, got it. Aliona responds, like you don't know anything. She adds, play dumb. Bear said, I'm going to pull some tears out. I'm going to pull some tears out. Guys, law number 34 of the 49 laws of Sharpe explicitly states that if a woman has an audience of even one person, the tears she cries are crocodile tears. The only time a woman is truly crying is when she cries alone. When a woman cries alone, she's hurt. But when a woman is crying around a person or people, you can bet your ass that it's an act. Well, here we go. I'm going to pull some tears out. Aliona, double question marks. Bear adds, and play dumb. Great advice, Bear adds. Thank you, babe. This is one day before the first raid. And again, this is last year. This appears to be on April 11th. Aliona says, we are so good, though. She adds, we need a fucking Oscar. Now, she could be talking about a fish, right? Listen, maybe they think they deserve an Oscar fish to eat for their performance. Maybe they're talking about Oscar the Grouch. I don't know. Is it possible that they could be talking about Oscar the Grouch or the fish or a fish? Yeah, of course it's possible. Is it possible that they could be talking about the Oscar, the Academy Award that goes to best actors and actresses? I'll let you decide. Bear adds, let's go. Aliona says, let's just go play it cool. She adds, and change my name so it will not start with A. Aliona. Bear says, LOL, got it. Aliona then adds, sometime later, yeah, I told you to be like saying a nice message and that we are hurt or shit like that and that we do love them but just don't like the situation. Ain't that something? That's exactly what they said in their interviews. That's exactly what it says in their interviews. Now, one might draw the reasonable conclusion that this might have been planned. Here they are talking about it. I'm going to cry. I'm going to change my name. We're going to tell everyone that we were in love, that we love them, we just don't like the situation, and then it sort of plays out. Aliona adds, so they will not think we are really against them, you know? Bear adds, yeah, that's smart. Apparently Bear does not know where the apostrophe is on the smartphone. Aliona adds, play the victim. I mean, we are, but act like we still love them and stuff. Bear gets a kick out of it. She says, ha ha. Then she says, I mean, are we? It's a little odd. Aliona says, wait. Bear says, wait, what? Bear then adds, hang on a second. Bear then adds, tomorrow we should wear sunglasses. We should wear makeup and sunglasses so nobody really notices what we look like or who we are. Aliona adds, yeah, I guess. She adds, LOL. Bear adds, we are writing a movie script. We are writing a movie ASAP. Call me crazy, guys, but it appears that Aliona and Bear might be trying to mislead the authorities. Again, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But based on what we've just seen here, is it reasonable to conclude that maybe this was a setup? I mean, it appears that they planned this whole thing out really to the letter. Sunglasses, makeup, tears, and all. You be the judge. Let's go to the next one. So this is, I guess, her talking to her family. And, of course, it continues. Bear says, I'm dying inside. Then, of course, Aliona says, let's email Netflix ASAP. Bear also adds Hulu and Amazon Prime. I don't want to draw conclusions, but it looks as though they might be trying to get like a movie deal out of this thing. Again, I wasn't there, so I don't know. Bear says, look, I know you don't believe I can handle this, but I can. I'm not so concerned. Tristan doesn't really care if I leave going because we've made the brothers believe we are in love. They think we will run back. That's a little strange. That's a little strange. Being held captive means that you are being held against your will, which reasonably insinuates that you are prevented from leaving. You are not allowed to leave, which, of course, is a crime. So if you are being held captive, then why would you tell your friend in a private message that Tristan doesn't really care if you leave? If you couldn't leave, why wouldn't Tristan care if you left? If you couldn't leave, how could you run back? If you weren't allowed to leave, then why would you put "they think we will run back"? Just a question. Just a question. Just putting it out there. Again, I wasn't there, so I don't know. But based on what we're seeing here, is it reasonable to conclude that maybe these girls, maybe they were allowed to leave? Maybe. I mean, here they are in the Uber, right? There they are in the Uber, and now they're telling each other that Tristan doesn't care if they leave. I'll let you decide. It continues. Bear says it's not a lot to explain, but we will be out of here in time. Maybe they're talking about going to France. I don't know. Bear says, I don't think they care that much if we leave anyways, which is why I feel okay. Well, there it is again. There it is again. There it is again. They don't care much. They don't care that much if they leave anyway. So, again, now we're talking. See, because it's a Tristan doesn't care if I leave. So now one could say, okay, maybe Tristan let the girls leave, but Andrew Tate was the main one behind it. Tristan was like, hey, you know what? You guys can leave. I don't care. And Andrew says, no, you can't leave. I don't want anyone stealing my Bugatti. Possible. It's possible. But then they use the word they. I don't think they care that much if we leave anyways, which is why I feel okay. Who else could they be talking about? Who else could they be talking about? Maybe they're talking about the other two girls that were charged, but could two women conceivably keep another two women from actually leaving the premises? I'll let you decide. Bear says, I will make the call and do the right thing in the situation. Bear adds, right now, we both want to be in London. I don't know who this Mona is. Bear says, can't listen to the voice message. Then, of course, Mater Mona says, go to London, but why have all the American embassy on alert? You are causing a major upheaval because the Marines and all the American squad is on the go now. Fuck it, Emma, fuck it. Then, of course, Bear said, you called. She says, I didn't. Then she says, Mom, I want to leave London. Bear says, you call, that's on you. Bear says, again, tell them to come Tuesday when we leave. Bear continues. Then they can see everything. Bear then says, look, if you stop me from going to London, expect me to disappear. So it appears that the plan was on the verge of falling apart. Anytime people conspire to commit a crime, if there's more than one person, inevitably there's going to be some unrest, right? There's no honor among thieves. Clearly there's no honor among hoes, allegedly. Bear bites back, says, how dare you put me in danger like that? She says, you called, not me. Then Mater Mona says, go to hell, Emma. Your arrogance and ignorance and bullshit, go to Wup Land or Bangkok or Bora Bora. The whole American embassy is on alert. Shame on you. Then Bear adds right at the end, that's your fault. This is a lesson This is a lesson that we all need to learn as men. This is a lesson that we all need to learn as men. Earlier last year, we watched Johnny Depp get exonerated for the things that Amber Heard accused him of. The evidence came out. She was clearly lying. She set the whole thing up. She fabricated all of it. Yet, they still tell us to believe all women. They still tell us to believe all women, which is a little bit odd because women lie, and people know women lie. The interesting thing is this kind of thing has been going on since before a lot of you young cats can remember. Case in point, Emma Sulkowicz, the Mattress Girl. Do you guys remember this? You guys remember this? For those of you guys who are not familiar with the Mattress Girl, I know a lot of you guys are a little bit younger, so we'll quickly go over this and a couple of other situations that have this in common with the Andrew Tate situation. The article says, settling a lawsuit filed by a male student she accused of e-parring her, the university says he was, quote, found not responsible. I wonder why they just wouldn't say innocent. If you haven't heard of the Mattress Girl, the article starts, it's not for the lack of trying among liberal opinion shapers. Emma Sulkowicz, who dragged a blue mattress around Columbia's campus in 2014 to dramatize her plight as an e-par victim, which was profiled sympathetically in New York Magazine, the New York Times, and other publications, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand invited her to attend one of President Obama's State of the Union speeches. ArtNet pronounced her mattress stunt, for which Columbia awarded her, of course, credit as an art project, as, quote, one of the most important artworks of the year, and she was honored by the Feminist Majority Foundation and other groups. Her story is this: a consensual sexual encounter with a male student named Paul Nungesser suddenly turned violent. Without warning, he choked her, struck her, and anally penetrated her while she cried out in pain. Such things do happen. In the course of researching a book due out next year, I've spoken to dozens of college students. Every single one knows someone who has been e-parred. Some know more than one. And a list of colleges that have been disciplined or expelled students for e-par or SA is long. Some college students have been criminally prosecuted, and rightly so. We can debate why sexual misconduct and e-par have become such pressing problems, but facts are stubborn things, and it has become clear in Sulkowicz's case, Nungesser, not she, was almost certainly the victim. Sulkowicz filed charges with the university and the New York police. Both investigated, both declined to take action against him. It was then that Sulkowicz undertook her mattress performance as an attempt to brand Nungesser as an e-parist to drive him from Columbia. He was shunned and anathematized. As Kathy Young reported in Reason magazine, Sulkowicz launched a full-on harassment campaign. In the summer of 2014, other students and a professor pressured Nungesser to drop out of a scholarship-paid class to Russia, Mongolia, and China. That October, on a day of action against blah, 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 blah. Nungesser finished his degree, but he also supplied evidence to Young that undermines the case against him. Evidence that was not even admitted to the tribunal that cleared him. Ain't that something? Nungesser produced Facebook messages the two exchanged within 48 hours of the alleged e-par. In one, Nungesser invited her to a small shindig in his room and asked her to, quote, bring cool freshmen. She replied, LOL, yes, I will be over with the female soon. Also, I feel like we need to have some real time where we can talk about life and things because we still haven't really had a Paul Emma chill sesh since summer. Ay, ay, ay. Now, I wasn't there, so I don't know. Is it possible that Paul Nungesser really did e-par Emma Sulkowicz? Absolutely. But if that were the case, why would she agree to go to his room for a shindig? Are those the actions? 10 days later, she texted him with a "whatever I want to see you. Respond, I'll get message on my phone. After he sent her an effusive message on her birthday, she responded, I love you, Paul. Where are you? Oh, boy. On July 17th, Columbia filed a lawsuit against... on of the investigation. Paul's remaining time at Columbia became very difficult for him and not what Columbia would want any of its students to experience. Columbia will continue to review and update its policies towards ensuring that every student, accuser and accused, including those like Paul who are found not responsible, is treated respectfully and as a full member of the Columbia community. Nungesser's parents told Newsweek that they felt vindicated after what they described as a 4-year test. Sorry about that, guys. As a 4-year effort to clear his name. The Mattress Girl. This was the Mattress Girl. She filed a police report against Paul Nungesser for essentially ghosting her. She got upset and decided, you know what, I'm going to retroactively withdraw consent. This, of course, is her carrying the mattress around campus. Another interesting twist to the story is video. She got smashed out on camera and put the video out. A woman by the name of, quote, Jackie Coakley accused a fraternity of gang e-parring her, and it was completely false. You know what? Hang on, guys. You want to know why? Walter! God damn it. Walter, get out of there. Where's my spray bottle? Get. All right, guys. How's that? Am I still breaking up here? Let me know if we're good to go, guys. We good? Yes? No? Maybe so? Yeah, Walter's been a motherfucker the last couple of days, man. Jesus. Ay. Okay. All right, we're doing good. Okay. At any rate, the Jackie Coakley situation turned out to be a complete hoax. The entire story was fabricated. Let's go to another situation. Oh, yes. The Duke Lacrosse boys. You guys remember this, right? I was actually living in Clayton, North Carolina, when all of this was going down in Durham. Of course, Crystal Gail Mangum accused Reed Seligman, David Evans, and Colin Finnerty of gang e-parring her. Turns out the whole thing was false. Completely fabricated. The prosecuting attorney, and I forget what his name is. I'm sure you guys will let me know. The prosecuting attorney was not impeached. He was disbarred and served a day in jail because he literally attempted to railroad these guys. And if you guys want to know more about this, you guys have got to check out the 30 for 30 called Fantastic Lies. I will never, ever forget this press conference. David Evans. I remember when David Evans got in front of everyone and said, hey, you guys have been told some fantastic lies. Incidentally enough, he was right. They were told fantastic lies, and the man to his left, one of the junior partners, he was kind of a nobody at the law firm. This was when DNA evidence was relatively new in the legal community. This guy, in 1 week, figured out about he's not a scientist, but he literally crammed all these books into his head, and he figured out, wait a minute. There are some inconsistencies in the DNA, and the rest was history. A little closer to home. You guys remember the whole Fresh and Fit summer? You guys remember that? When Abba and Preach made an appearance on Fresh and Fit, went into Myron's apartment, went into his home, drank his drinks, ate his food, and then a few months later came back and talked a bunch of trash about him. Myron and Fresh took the bait, and then all hell broke loose. Anna Quinn accused Myron of e-parring her. It was a complete lie. Matter of fact, Anna Quinn recently reached out to Myron to see if she could get back on the show. You can't make this stuff up, guys. She actually reached out to Myron to apologize. Are you kidding me? Apologize? What about Miss Cheeks? Y'all remember this? Y'all remember Miss Cheeks? You guys remember Miss Cheeks? Miss Cheeks said that she was pregnant with baby Myron. She was pregnant with baby Gaines. That actually turned out to be cap. And I remember, I'll never forget this. I'm in Connecticut filming Save-A-Ho, and I'm actually texting back and forth with Myron because I saw that she was on telling lies. He's sitting there texting me back and forth. Miss Cheeks looks at her phone and says, oh, Myron, he's calling me right now. It was a complete lie. Complete lie. All of it was cap. The point is, guys, is that when I guess the Matrix wants to get rid of you, they can certainly try. But now the question becomes, why would they try to get rid of Andrew Tate? What is the motive behind this? The reason why the world, the mainstream media at large, hates Andrew Tate is because Andrew's waking people up. He's waking guys up. The more men are exposed to Andrew Tate and what he talks about, the less we can be taken advantage of. Andrew Tate speaks the truth, guys. Andrew Tate speaks the truth. And they got rid of him. They wanted to get rid of him because they did not want him to continue to tell the truth. He tells guys, look, man, the American dream is not what it used to be. The American dream is not what it used to be. Girls are not made of sugar, spice, and everything nice. Girls are not these virtuous creatures. No, girls are very, very much opportunistic. Girls are very much out of pocket. Everything that Andrew Tate espouses is a direct threat to the sisterhood uber alles. Shout out to Rolla Tomasi. Anybody who listens to Andrew Tate and actually believes and takes what he says seriously essentially escapes the Matrix. That's what happens. The more people who subscribe to this line of thinking, the less puppets they have to mess around with us on. That's the reason they want to get rid of Andrew Tate. That's the reason why they want to get rid of him. Then we come to Destiny and Abba and Preach. A while back, I called Destiny, I characterized him as an enemy of masculinity. An enemy of masculinity. Destiny is an enemy of masculinity. He sat there in front of Pearl, in front of this lawyer, grasping at straws, making these weak, flimsy arguments because he doesn't like the fact that Andrew Tate figured women out. I said this before and I'll say it again. This is why we are disliked. And dude, I've said it before and I'll say it again. You cannot trust men who are not good with women if you are. If you're not good with women and your homeboys aren't good with women, trust away. You guys are going to screw each other over anyway. It doesn't matter one way or the other. Right? But think about all of Andrew Tate's main detractors. Destiny hates Andrew Tate. Why? Because Andrew Tate is good with women and he is not. And obviously it goes much deeper than that. But that's really the main reason one man hates another. That's the reason one man hates another. Listen, man. Listen, we all know that men are envious people. It is what it is. Now, what you do with that envy remains to be seen. But any man who does their level best to throw dirt on the name of another man who is actively trying to improve the lives of other men is an enemy of masculinity. Abba and Preach are enemies of masculinity. They are enemies of masculinity. They took the ball and they absolutely ran with it. Doing all these hit videos and Andrew Tate is guilty and blah, 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 blah. What are you two fucking losers going to say now? Huh? What are you going to say, Abba? What are you going to say, Preach? You guys going to, you guys are going to stay quiet now. You guys are going to stay quiet now because, well, the jig is up. The jig is up. The reason why they wanted to get rid of Andrew Tate is because Andrew Tate is pro-masculinity. Gentlemen, these are enemies of masculinity. These are enemy of masculinity. Destiny is an enemy of masculinity. Abba and Preach are enemies of masculinity. Let's rewind a little bit. During that whole summer of the Fresh and Fit roast, there was no evidence whatsoever that Myron had E-par'd anybody. Yet, Abba went on No Jumper and, well, decided to say
from
this.
The experience, because I think that, like, even their fans seem to be pretty much 100% on the same page of, like, that's not how you go about an argument with somebody that you already ostensibly have a relationship with.
You know,
because you guys could totally still be cool after that video that you guys made, and it could have still been really good for content if you guys had just gone back and forth and talked about it, and it didn't have to be this sort of life or death thing,
I can't
right?
be cool with people who don't have integrity. That's me personally. I won't go after you, but if you're someone who I think is a reprehensible person, I'm not trying to have business relationships with you. Why would I? Fuck, well, what am I going to spend my day socializing with somebody who's like a rapist? Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. How foolish does he look now? Devin, come up and get Walter. He's pissing me off. Like, he's at the door and he's meowing. He's driving me crazy. Why would I be friends with someone who's like an E-parist? Yeah, you took the L. You took the L on that one. Abba and Preach are enemies of masculinity. Anytime someone who represents what this community espouses gets into what appears to be a little bit of trouble, all of the enemies of masculinity try to pile on. What are they going to say now? What are they going to say now? Here's another interesting question, and I'll read the super chats after this. There is always a reason. There is always a reason that one man goes after another. And it's funny because men with nefarious intentions always try to characterize them doing something nefarious as looking out for the greater good, right? Well, the reason why we went after Fresh and Fit is because they're reprehensible human beings. They have no integrity. No, you went after Fresh and Fit because they were your biggest competition. The reason why Abba and Preach went after Fresh and Fit is because, well, Fresh and Fit was eventually going to pass them. Fresh and Fit has a far more loyal following now than Abba and Preach. That's the reason. And Abba and Preach will say, no, that's not the reason. No. That's the reason they went after Fresh and Fit. They tried to get Fresh and Fit effectively canceled so that they could be better than Fresh and Fit. Fresh and Fit was eating their ass up. A lot of Abba and Preach fans became Fresh and Fit fans. They had to do something about it. And they damn near pulled it off. Except here's the problem. Here's the problem. Fresh and Fit actually helps men. Now, does this mean that Abba and Preach are trash content creators? No. Obviously, people want to know what they have to say. They've got over 1 million subscribers. Shout out to them. I guess, they worked for it, blah, 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 blah. But there is always a motive. There is always a motive. Don't you guys think, don't think for 1 second that one of the very few reasons Abba and Preach went after Fresh and Fit was because Fresh and Fit was a threat to their business. Real talk. Fresh and Fit was a threat to Abba and Preach's business. They were and are. That's why Abba and Preach went after Fresh and Fit. Hell, I'll use myself as an example. And this actually has a lot to do with Abba and Preach. But yeah, Anthony Johnson came after me. He came after me under the guise of, I'm trying to rid the manosphere of frauds, the truth, and blah, 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 blah. That's not the reason he did it. No, the reason he did it was to get rid of me. And the reason he wanted to get rid of me, well, it was because of the Conference of Masculine Excellence. This is part of the letter that I got from his attorney. It says, as such, demand is made for you to cease and desist from violations of the agreement, including, without limitation, using the above confidential information for your event, and to remove all promotional materials for said event and provide notice of its total cancellation. There it is. Provide notice of its total cancellation. Anthony will give you a bunch of reasons as to why he continues to go after me. This is the reason. This is the reason Anthony came after me. Because the CME is a threat to his convention. That's the first thing he tried to do. Here's something else. This is funny. He actually tried to extort me for $10,000. Number 19, deliver $10,000 USD to Anthony Johnson via wire transfer or cashier's check for damages done against his personal reputation, as well as reputational damages done against 21 Studios, the 21 Convention, and the Redman Group brands companies that he owns and operates. This payment represents a fraction of the actual damages done both for the violation of the agreement and the defamatory statements made by you regarding Anthony Johnson and the companies. I want to rid the manosphere of frauds. I'm about truth and integrity, blah, 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 blah. No, you're not. No, you're not. You wanted me to cancel the CME. You wanted me to cancel the CME. That's why you did and continued to do the hit pieces on me. It didn't work. It did not work. Since then, I have successfully pulled off two CMEs. There will be a third. There absolutely will be a third. He has tried everything under the sun to take me down, gentlemen. You guys know. He's launched attacks on my websites. He's gone after my payment processors. Guess what? I'm still here. So after I pulled off the second CME, Anthony decided to look around, and this is what he does. He likes to see, who is Donovan Sharpe enemies with? Who doesn't like Donovan Sharpe right now? Well, he correctly concluded that Abba and Preach, not fans of your boy. Not fans of your boy. So he decided to co-opt with them to try to get me taken down. Now, it's interesting. It's very, very interesting. Heather P., some of you guys are familiar with her. She's my staffer. She reads all my comments and all that good stuff. I don't read the comments. She does. I tell her, look, weed out, whatever the case may be. I don't care. I don't want to know about him. Sometimes I'll do like fake engagement. I'll have her do, hey, listen, just put, hey, thanks for responding, blah, 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 whatever. It helps me in the algorithm. But the interesting thing that Heather has told me, she said, since this Abba and Preach video came out, and this is interesting, 86% of the negative comments about me referring to that particular video are from people who are non-subscribers. I said, wait, what? Yeah, 86% of the people who are posting negative comments about you referring to that video, not subscribers. What this means is that they don't matter. You see, gentlemen, anyone who claims to not like me anymore because of the video were never on board in the first place. They were never on board in the first place. They never liked me. They were just looking for a reason to talk a bunch of trash. And it's funny because Heather also tells me that there are, and I don't even get into the details, but she says, yeah, you know, the guys really, really try hard with these long, drawn out, you know, intelligent type. It's funny because what it sounds to me like what they're trying to do, and this is just my opinion, it sounds to me like what they're trying to do is they want me to believe that they were once on board with my message, but because of the video, now they're not.
Stop the cap.
No, 86%. 86% of the negative comments said about me as a result of that video are non-subscribers. They want me to think, again, well, I was once on board with your message, but now I'm not. Nope, you never were in the first place. You never were in the first place. And you want to know something? I should actually thank Abba and Preach for the hit piece. I should actually thank them for the hit piece. Here are the metrics. Here are the metrics since the Abba and Preach video came out. January 28th is when the video came out. January 28th is when the hit piece came out. Between January 28th and today, 2.7 million views, 3.2, well, this was a mistake. I didn't want you guys to see the estimated revenue, but it is what it is. It's out there now. It's out there now. It's out there now, right? Anthony thought, this numbskull actually thought that Abba and Preach putting out the hit piece would cripple me. Nope. It has helped me tremendously. This dude has tried everything he could to try to take me down. He's done everything he could to try to take me down. It has not and will not work. That was Anthony's Hail Mary. That was it. That was it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. You want to know why? You want to know why I know I'm not going anywhere? You can think whatever you want to about me. You can think whatever you want to about me. You listen, everybody has an opinion, blah, 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 blah. Think whatever you want. Believe what you want to believe. That's fine. But the reason I'm not going anywhere is because I actually help men to improve their lives. Now, there are some channels just dedicated to just, entertainment. Shout out to Mega McQueen. He's one of the funniest people I've ever met. We did a Fresh and Fit after hours when I was down there for the boat party. Awesome dude. Awesome dude. Right? But ask yourselves this. Is your life now better and or improving because of my content? If the answer is yes, great. Happy to have you. If the answer is no, hey, I tried. It is what it is. But is your life really better for having subscribed to Abba and Preach? Right? Abba and Preach are allegedly entertaining. I mean, 1 point whatever million subscribers can't be wrong, but is your life really better because you are subscribed to them? Okay, it's mindless entertainment. It's bad, response videos or whatever. But Abba and Preach are just a couple of virtue signaling you-know-whats. Preach's wife is still a land whale. I would still kick Preach's ass in a fight. And Abba still was milked from the backside. Hey, look. Now, listen, no shame on Abba. No shame on Abba. If butt play is your thing, I'm not mad at you, Abba. I'm not mad. I'm being serious. It's not something I would do, but if you like to get milked and all that, hey, who am I to judge? Right? Who am I to judge? But Are you really going to listen? Are you really going to listen to life advice and take your cues from a dude who got milked from the back and a dude who has a land whale of a wife who says maybe 3 words a podcast? Or do you want to take your cues from a man who's been through some shit? And guys, look, I'm not perfect. I've done a lot of bad things. I've committed a lot of crimes against a lot of people. I've always been upfront about that. Anthony says that I'm a career criminal. Maybe he's right. Maybe I am a career criminal. Maybe I am. But do I help you guys? Is your life better for having subscribed to my channel? Is your life better? Have you learned more? Has your life improved? I can't answer that for you. Only you can. Now let's move to Anthony. Does Anthony really improve anyone's life? I mean, all this kid really does is talk about how we need to go back to the 1950s. That's really all he does. He pays some guy to do a bunch of TikTok compilations, and then he gets on and talks to people. Not really a content creator. But now let's go to his convention. Is your life really improved for having gone to the 21 convention? Here's another thing. Is anyone going to pay $2,500 to go to that? Here's an even better question. If you're a speaker, would you want to go and speak at a convention that is run by a guy who's doxed just about every single one of his speakers? I can't answer that for you. If the answer is yes, hey, listen, more power to you. But like I said, you can think whatever you want about me. That's fine. You can have your opinion. That's cool. But I know I'm doing good in the world. I've done a lot of bad, but guess what? I'm doing a lot of good too. You guys can think whatever you want about me. That is immaterial. But I'm winning. Y'all. I'm winning, as you can see. I'm not going anywhere. And the reason I'm not going anywhere is because men recognize that despite my flaws, I know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. I help improve the lives of men and indirectly women. If you guys want to follow Anthony Johnson, hey man, subscribe to his channel. Pay $2,500 and go to his convention. I'm not mad at that. You'll listen, I'm sure all 8 of those attendees will have a hell of a time. I'll be his mouthpiece. Go to the 21 convention, guys. $2,500. Go to the 21 convention, $2,500. And I think you can also get a virtual ticket for $500. We thought of the virtual ticket first. Do you guys see me trying to extort Anthony for $10,000 because he stole, allegedly, my idea for the virtual tickets? I stole his idea, but he stole one of $2,500. $2,500. If you think it's worth it, I ain't mad at you. So again, think whatever you want about me. But Anthony, Abba, and Preach, the people have spoken. You guys can send all your little cronies to try to discourage me, whatever the case may be. Heather probably has issues now because she does read all of these negative comments. I am living good and laughing easy. My life has not, actually, no, my life has changed, actually, as you can see on the screen. And I really did not want to show this because I don't like to do all that. 2.7 million views, 3,200 subscribers. Yeah, great job, Abba and Preach. Great job, Anthony. Great job. That was that was your Hail Mary. And oh, here's one other thing. Anthony likes to position himself and talk like he is one of the best friends of Andrew Tate, right? Oh, Cobra Tate, this, blah, 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 blah. I'm not sure that Andrew is going to be too pleased with the fact that you collaborated with Abba and Preach, who essentially tried to have him prosecuted on their channel. Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Shout out to the 21 convention. I'm sure it will be a rousing success. As I said, gentlemen, I'm not going nowhere. The CME3 is 1,000% happening. No matter what you or any of your cronies or any of your collaborators think, I don't care. I know that what I do is good for men, and the men in this community recognize it, and that's the bottom fucking line. All right, let's read some super chats here. DJ Berserk with the $5 super chat says, so if men use the, quote, loverboy method, they are wrong, but when women do it, oh well, stop worrying about it. Figures. I've said that before. The loverboy method, to me, that's akin to foodie calls, as far as I'm concerned. Gamer Trey with the $5 super chat says, hey, Donovan, do you know what happened to Geeky Anomaly? Haven't seen him in the chat in a while. Yeah, he doesn't go by Geeky Anomaly anymore. He goes by Mike Steele. Let's continue here. Desmond Montgomery with the $5 super chat says the two Ohio State players' lives got ruined because of lying chicks. They were proven innocent, but they were already kicked off the team. How many times has that happened? Appreciate the super chat, Mr. Montgomery. Darts with the 20 BGNs. I don't know what that is, but says, greetings from Bulgaria, Donovan. Appreciate that very much. Appreciate that very, very much. Derek the Trader with the $5 super chat says, my sister was attending Columbia University during the Mattress Girl drama. A lot of people there knew she was lying about the whole thing. I wouldn't doubt it. Listen, man, bitches know bitches, man. That's why they hate each other, because they know each other. Lily Zero has gifted 5 memberships. Bjorn, Scheduled, Miles Dueling, Lord Puck, and Harsh Truth, welcome to the TSR family. Thank you very much to Lily Zero with gifting 5 memberships. By the way, we have hit 300 memberships. So let me give you guys a Don DeMarco for that. Alvin Sam with the $5 super chat says, I'd rather have my peace and quiet than a masculine whale. So would I. Bronx King with the $10 super chat says, the men who support this space know who the real ones are and who the clowns are. No matter how many hit pieces are done on you and your comrades, your supporters will never let you gentlemen fail. Thank you very much for that, Bronx King. The Forest with the $5 super chat says, you're right. I get recommended videos from Ob and Preach all the time. Never subscribe to them. Your content and Fresh and Fit have helped me so much. My wife loves the content, and it has helped us. Thank you for that. Ken Rose with the $5 super chat says, there is more than enough wealth and currency flowing through the space to feed everyone. What's up with this petty competition? Dude, you got me. You got me, man. Like, I mean, that was my deal with Kevin, the late, great Kevin Samuels. Shout out to him. I never understood why he had such a problem with Fresh and Fit. I used to tell him all the time, dude, like, the pie is big enough for everybody. You know, I guess he didn't agree. Jay Wood with the $5 super chat says, Donovan, I root for your success. The Tates, Jap, and Fresh and Fit have taught and affirmed so much in my life. I only ask, bring more heat to our enemies. Gentlemen, it is very important that we recognize. It's very important that we recognize who our enemies are. And what you guys are beginning to see, is that our enemies are now men. Our main enemies are now men, gentlemen. 5, 6, 7 years ago, our biggest detractors used to be feminists. Those are the good old days. Now our enemies are men within our community. Dude, I get more hate from men than I do women. It's incredible. But just because you're a man does not mean you are an enemy, means that you are not an enemy of masculinity. That's what these people are. They are enemies of masculinity. Destiny is an enemy of masculinity. Abba and Preach, enemies of masculinity. The Level Up Man says, monetize your haters. Yeah, mission accomplished. Mission accomplished. Honestly, that's the most money I've made in that time span on YouTube ever. It's incredible. It's incredible. Yeah, appreciate that, guys. Appreciate that very much. Appreciate that oops, sorry about that. That wasn't the Matrix. Appreciate that very, very much, gentlemen. Appreciate that a lot. What's going to happen now? What's going to happen now is I am about to close out the show. I'm going to close out the show, and then I am going to continue with my Pamela Anderson breakdown. I, of course, directly after the show, I am breaking down, reacting to the Pamela Anderson documentary about her life. Guys, it has been a hell of a ride so far. Holy smokes. We have already found out. Like the first, 10, 15 minutes, it already tells us why Pamela made the decisions that we are. That we are. Number one, she was diddled by her female babysitter for 4 years. Number two, as a 12-year-old virgin, she was e-parred by a 25-year-old man as a virgin. Pamela never had a chance. She never had a chance. Here's another thing. Her father was alcoholic and abusive. And I mean abusive. A lot of girls say, well, I was in an abusive relationship. No. Pam Anderson's father, that was an abuser. So you take an abusive alcoholic father being diddled by your female babysitter, e-parred at the age of 12 by a 25-year-old. Is there any wonder why she made the decision she made? Gentlemen, this is why we got to be there for our daughters, man. This is why we got to be there for our daughters, man. Because if you're not, dude, I said this yesterday, I'll say it again. Broken men can be fixed. Broken women cannot. Pamela Anderson was a broken woman long before any of us knew who the hell she was. She never had a chance. Never had a chance. Fortunately, she grew up to be hot and made the smart business decision to get a boob job. But can you imagine if instead of being discovered by Hugh Hefner, she was discovered by the likes of maybe Ron Jeremy? Her life would be very, very different. DL Saint, I really want to know podcast with the $20 super chat. Says, good meeting you in Miami at the Fresh and Fit party. I look forward to seeing you at the CME, brother. Appreciate that very much. Cigarman85 with the $5 super chat says, jealousy is the biggest enemy of men. Cain and Abel story. Cain and Abel. Anthony pretends not to like me because of the reasons he gives. No. Anthony hates me because I have effectively shut down the 21 convention. And he knows it. He likes to pretend that he doesn't know it. He knows it. It's over. It's over for him. Oh, and here's one last tidbit. I'm sure you guys are all well aware of this. This idiot has managed to knock up one of his psychotic groupies. That's right. Anthony Johnson is going to become a father in July. He wants to talk all this shit about how Devin and I are married and this and that. My man, you're in bigger trouble than I am. You see, you fucking idiot, you fucked around and put a baby in an American woman. You put a baby in an American woman, bruh. I'm going to tell you what. I'll tell you what, Tony. Tony's going to have a lot. Listen, he's going to have bigger fish to fry. He's going to have bigger fish to fry than worrying about the CME. He thinks he's tripping about the CME? Shit. When his baby mama figures out that he's a fucking psychopath, woo! That's gonna be fun to watch. That's gonna be a lot of fun to watch. That's gonna be a lot of fun to watch for Tony Johnson. I cannot believe that dude is going to this dude fucked around and put a baby in an American woman. What are you doing? What are you doing? Ay. This idiot put a baby in an American woman. But he wants to talk trash about my life? All right. Okay, Tony. All right, Tony, I got you. Ay, 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 ay. Man, oh, man. When I found out about that, I was so happy. I was like, what? He did who? I said, oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Man, oh, man, oh, man. Guys, do not forget to follow me on Instagram at Donovan Sharpe TSR, as well as Twitter at Donovan's Den. Make sure you pick up my newest free ebook, Dead Bedroom, The Cure for a Sexless Relationship. Just go to tsracademy.com/free, plug in your very best email, follow the instructions in the book, and watch your relationship go from the desert to the rainforest. Coming up next is my breakdown of the Pamela Anderson documentary. For now, that is going to do it for this edition of TSR Live. My thanks to all my members, patrons, Sharpe Stream members, and Super Chatters. Have a great evening, guys. I will see you next time.